Okay, so I'm going to start off here with the chapter three. With the third podcast, and it's going to be on chapter five. And chapter five, I called it Miss Peculiar, and it's a girl. I think she's Mexican. She's from Jalisco, but we went to Puerto Rico together. So I was just thinking that I was going to find someone on Fiverr who could write the fan fiction for the Puerto Rico story, and then try to find somebody to do and a comic and a anime. And I don't know really what the difference in price is going to be to hire somebody to do that, but that's what I'm going to find. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play, or and I'm learning how to do this using CapCut. All right, so the evolution of this whole thing. I'm now gonna make these videos and have the video and the audio in CapCut, and I'm able to adjust some of it so that excuse me for being loud with the coughing. I'm able to make it all in CapCut and then send it up to Buzzsprout and put the video on TikTok. I'm trying to put the video on TikTok, but I already put it up on the YouTube. So, man, my voice feels a little heavy, but I want to get into letting this next part go and trying to make it all under 10 minutes so that it fits in a TikTok. And with that, remember, if you have a chance, and you want to sign up for Audible, I will hook you up when you come to New Orleans. And if you go to Vegas, I will hook you up. I'll have someone else hook you up in Vegas. I'm in the French Quarter, and get you all of the burgers and daiquiris if you give me that. I think it's a good path to figure out a way in the Audible system to get the subscribers or to get the people to sign up with Audible. So, anyways, I appreciate the listening. I appreciate anybody that's subscribing and liking. And now I'm going to play. This is one of my favorite chapters, and I feel like 5 was an appropriate order. I could have put it first, but it was my favorite trip to Puerto Rico. But I'll talk about that after the first introduction. All right, thanks a lot. Take care.
Chapter 5, Miss Peculiar. Just take half of it. Gucci Mane. All I expected from that quick 2-night trip to Puerto Rico was to visit the 2 houses Marlene bought after the hurricane and look for possible daiquiri bar spots near the beach. I wasn't expecting to have sex after eating some mild LSD, but luckily I heard her whispering, "You could have fucked me last night." On the second day, before going to the beach, we both ate a couple of small hits of paper she pulled from her wallet. As soon as we got back to the condo, after seeing a couple of homes for sale with a realtor, she unwrapped about a dozen of them from a foil sheet. I only took half at first, and time started to bend. I could feel that familiar warmth on my neck. I don't remember the walk downstairs, but I enjoyed the peaceful beach shade watching her swim not too far off the eastern coast of Puerto Rico in the town of Luquillo. She was underwater most of the time, and I could see the orange flotation device bobbing at the surface from a tether attached to her belt. I barely knew this young lady, but felt obligated to make sure she didn't drown or freak out and not make it out of the ocean alive. She brought the doses in her pouch and took another hit before diving into the ocean. I can't imagine how she felt in the water because I was too much of a pussy to jump in. I bet she had a blast looking at the fish, feeling the waves, tripping balls, and understanding the universe better. I respected her for being so enthusiastic about both snorkeling and tripping. What was I doing here? Why wasn't I with my girl? Which girl am I talking about? The flight attendant I miss every day? Or the other flight attendant I forgot to call back a dozen time zones away? What about the girl in Phoenix, the only woman I matched with on Bumble in years? The one from Kazakhstan? What about your old girl's fake half-sister? What about your other ex-girlfriend from Idaho? Last time I talked to Lucy, we discussed moving to Puerto Rico, opening daiquiri bars and Bitcoin mining sheds powered by her solar panels. I must have sounded like a loon. Or maybe she smelled the crap in my ass while blowing me, and she'd rather take her chances somewhere less shitty. The warping of time and space during a mild daytime acid trip on the beach turned me on. In this case, it was so mesmerizing it caused me to desire a young lady I once avoided. It was also making my wheels spin, and every business idea made sense at once. I was figuring it out. Everything around me looked crisp, despite being beaten up by the hurricanes.
Okay, so we just listened to a couple of minutes of the trip to Puerto Rico, the part about going to the beach and taking a little bit of acid and hanging out. So like I basically just sat on the sand by the water. I'm pretty sure I wore shoes there. I don't remember taking my shoes off. I might have taken my shoes off and put my water in. I didn't do that. I didn't jump in like she did. It was neat too because I remember there was like, I don't want to call it a lagoon, but there was like a little still water beach area that was to my right. This was after walking down the beach from the hotel. And then to the left, it looked like they were developing some condos or some community of homes or something kind of exclusive, or kind of, higher end than where we were staying. But yeah, that was a really neat part. It was and then that I got a chance to like just sit down and think about what was I freaking doing? Like what the fuck was I doing there? And how did I get there? And how much different that was from what I was used to having lived in Vegas for as long as I had, and not gotten to the islands in the middle of the ocean. It was like invigorating. I miss that. I want to go back. That's why I want this business to work. I wanted this publishing, media, whatever. I want to sell media or digital so that I can move to Puerto Rico and not pay taxes on any of the profits. And then the way I see it is, you get to go live on the beach and pay less taxes, and I don't know how that's a bad thing. They got a bunch of poor dogs there too. So, all right, now I'm gonna clip it into another section, and I think this is okay. So I'm going back in time. The first clip, I was going to Puerto Rico with her, but I had met the girl a couple of years before this. So this next clip is the second time I think I met her, because I didn't really like her. I didn't like her at all. And she stepped on my dog. I'm not going to play that. She stepped on my dog's paw. The one that I'm showing right there, that little white one. Nucky. She stepped on the paw, and then he was limping. Anyways, I'm going to put another couple of minutes in there, and I'm going to try to do this whole thing less than 10 minutes. So this is at 3. Appreciate it. Peace.
Another year or so passed, and she texted me randomly to say hello, and we met for lunch. This time, she was blunt and told me she was finally at the point in her life where she enjoyed having sex. Then she showed me pictures of her handcuffed and naked being tickled on her pussy with a long feather by some dude holding the camera. Not my thing. It didn't turn me on and didn't make me hungry, so when that lunch ended, I was sure she got the clue I wasn't interested. As lonely as I was, and could tell she was too, my interest had limits, and her kinks exceeded those limits. Months and months went by, then I got a WhatsApp message from her. She was stuck in Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria. It took me a few minutes to make the connection who she was, and couldn't believe she was asking me for help. I took it like she was desperate if I was on her list, but I think she did it to a bunch of us.